in other words.
So did these CEOs think they were going to get away with it?
They have gotten away with it.
Yes, apparently they did. And with the presidential election just around the corner,
define rich. 5 million.
the elites were worried that their crime spree might come to an end. After bilking trillions from the American public by repossessing their homes, bankrupting them when they got sick, and convincing them to invest their earnings and pensions in the casino known as the stock market, the rich decided to make one last heist, and as their 30-year-long party might be coming to an end, take as much of the silverware with them as they could. But first, they needed a distraction. And as they learned after 9/11, nothing works better in the home of the brave than some good old-fashioned fear. And who better to wheel out for one last scary performance than Chicken Little himself? Oscar voters, for your consideration.
Good evening. This is an extraordinary period for America's economy. The government's top economic experts warn that without immediate action by Congress, America could slip into a financial panic and a distressing scenario would unfold. More banks could fail, including some in your community. The stock market would drop even more, which would reduce the value of your retirement account. The value of your home could plummet. Foreclosures would rise dramatically. And if you own a business or a farm, you would find it harder and more expensive to get credit. More businesses would close their doors, and millions of Americans could lose their jobs. Even if you have good credit history, it would be more difficult for you to get the loans you need to buy a car or send your children to college. And ultimately, our country could experience a long and painful recession. Fellow citizens, we must not let this happen.
In reality, there was no need for this speech because the mainstream media had already drunk the Kool-Aid.
Meltdown. The American financial system is rocked to its foundation.
A giant bank crumbles, stocks plummet. Nightmare on Wall Street.
AIG fights for its life.
Blood on the floor.
Armageddon. A Category 5 test of our financial levees.
What the fuck happened?
You ever seen a dam fail?
No.
Starts with a little crack, little seepage.
With overwhelming support, Congress struck down the restrictions. Big banking is barreling back.
And it starts eroding, and it destroys all the internal strength of the dam.
Poison from the housing mess seeped deeper and deeper into the banking system.
And soon the dam works against itself. The weight of the dam and the weight of the water conspire against it.
Investors were dumping bear shares, leading a huge sell-off.
The stocks of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were in free fall this morning at one.
Then there's kind of a significant flow.
Wall Street's losing streak stretched into its 7th day.
The carnage continues.
And then suddenly you've got 60, 70-foot sections, a dam exploding.
Lehman Brothers, bankrupt. Merrill Lynch, sold in haste. Now AIG.
Just crashing.
The market's year-long slide has brought down some of the biggest blue chips.
And the water starts rushing through.
This morning, Washington Mutual has gone under, the largest failure in U.S. banking history.
Stocks fell off a cliff, the largest single-point drop in history.
It destroys the rest of the dam. And the whole failure looks like it only takes 2 minutes. But of course, it's that little hole that's been there for several years that really destroyed it. You had this fundamentally unsound system built on a foundation of sand instead of bedrock, and it was rotted from the core.
It seems like capitalism's just collapsing on itself. Who got rich here?
Lots of people got rich during this time. Primarily the officers and directors of the large banks and savings and loans and the specialty non-prime lenders. These people became unbelievably rich.
And members of Congress got rich, especially once they left Congress. A number of them go and work in the financial institutions.
Sure, and as do Rubin and Summers.
Robert Rubin, a one-time top executive at both Citigroup and Goldman Sachs, championed a change in the law that allowed commercial banks to get into new areas like investment banking and exotic insurance products. This made it legal to let Citicorp merge with Travelers Group, a deal valued at $70 billion, creating the world's largest bank. After leaving the Clinton administration, Rubin worked for Citigroup, earning more than $115 million.
Summers made his money where?
Summers made his money as a supposed consultant and in giving speeches at apparently, in some cases, over $100,000 a pop.
Summers also made $5.2 million at his part-time job, advising a hedge fund.
Where did Geithner work?
Geithner has been a failure at pretty much everything he's done in life. Most of the institutions that destroyed the economy were under his direct regulatory authority.
How did he get the job as Treasury Secretary?
By completely screwing up his job as president of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Of course it makes perfect sense. This is not new to Washington. People who will give you the wrong answer, but the answer you want, are invaluable. And they often get promoted precisely because they're willing to say and do absurd things. And these are the people that promised us that financial deregulation would make all of us rich, and these are the people who were personally made rich.